Good afternoon, good evening, good grand rises, or wherever you are tuning in from. I thought that was going to be a lot bigger, but I guess not. All you can do is play around with things. Welcome to our book reading session. This is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. We are on um, Thoughts and feelings, broadcasting our electromagnetic signal to the quantum field. So, welcome everyone. I hope that you have your books tonight. I hope that you are ready to um, join in and read. And let's get some discussion going. Chapter one is quite long, but I hope that you all are ready. And I'm sorry that I am a little bit late. I was talking to my daughter. I don't understand how the school system, they give you these laptops, and the laptops, I understand that kids break them. I understand that things stop working and things like that, but it's like they're recycling the laptops that were broken at the school in the school year, and then it's like they just give you another one to give you another one. Is working for that moment, and then it's not working after that. I really don't understand. My daughter's had maybe three or four laptops now, and the one that I just got back with was working. It seemed like it was fine, and now it's like it just cut off. The fan cut on. It was hot. Like I don't know. I don't understand, but I don't have time to keep running back and forth to the school to get it fixed. So I don't know. But I hope that you guys are having an amazing, amazing afternoon. I am so ready to get into this book reading session. If y'all can, please let me know if you are here, if you can hear everything, if you can see everything, and if you have your books with you. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And is this your first time here? Have you been here before? And please make sure to heart this live as well as share it out so that other people are able to see the live and engage as well if they have the book and they would like to be able to join in on the conversation and read along with us. Like I said, it's called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And we are on Thoughts and Feelings, broadcasting our electromagnetic signal to the quantum field. This is page 20. If you hear background noise today, my kids have been kind of loud. So I apologize in advance for the loudness. All right. Sorry, I had to finish my juice because after we get off this live, I will be going to eat. So, hey girl. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. So, of course, y'all know if you've been following along with our book reading sessions, so far we have been talking about our state of mind, and how our mind can affect the things that actually take place in our lives or even other people's lives. They did a study where there was a research that was going on where it was a certain group of people who had been injured or who had things happen to them prior to who were hospitalized, and they said a prayer for a certain group, and then they said a different type of prayer for the other group, and some of them didn't say a prayer for another group, and they basically did a study where the results were that the group who had been prayed for, you were actually able to help them in the future. It was very interesting. So that is like the last part that we were talking about, and the results were kind of crazy. Like it didn't matter what you really were thinking at that moment, as long as the intention was behind it. It kind of helped the group of people. The study was really interesting. My Grand Risings, P. Joe. My first time on this book reading live. I found you through Yasmin last Friday evening. Yes, yes, welcome. Thank you so much for hopping on and tuning in. I hope that you were able to get the book. If not, if you all don't have a physical book, you can also get the book on Audible as well if you do audiobooks. If you don't have the physical book, I got my copy from a thrift store for $3 in my area, or you can get the book off of Amazon as well. So they do have hard copies there. And if you are a Prime member on Amazon, you are able to, get the books a lot quicker. So let me go ahead and get started and start reading. If anyone, okay, that's fine. If anyone wants to hop on here with me and read, please feel free. As y'all know, I don't mind sharing what, because sharing is caring, okay? And if you guys want to read, you could definitely do that. Or if you want to put your audio on, you could definitely do that as well. I will sit here and read along in silence, okay? It's all good to me. It doesn't bother me at all. Um, Also, if you do, let me know because I'll have to send you out a link that you will get, and then so that you can hop on StreamYard. So let me know. Don't feel bad to interrupt me while I'm reading and say, "Hey, I'm ready to read." Okay? Let me know. I want to throw my audio on. Let me know. You are so welcome. All right. Thoughts and feelings broadcasting our electromagnetic signal to the quantum field. Since every potential in the universe is a wave of probability that has an electromagnetic field and is energetic in nature, it makes sense that our thoughts and feelings are no expectation. All right, awesome. Well, I'll definitely let y'all know where we leave off, um, so that you're able to catch up if you don't have the book and then read along next time. I, f- I find it a useful model to think of thoughts as the electrical charge in the quantum field and feelings as the magnetic charge in the field. The thoughts we think send an electrical signal out into the field. The feelings we generate magnetic, magnetically draw events back to us. Together, how we think and how we feel produces a state of being, which generates an electromagnetic signature that influences every atom in our world. This should prompt us to ask, what am I broadcasting, consciously or unconsciously, on a daily basis? All potential experiences exist as electromagnetic signatures in the quantum field. There are an infinite number of potential electromagnetic signatures for genius, for wealth, for freedom, for health that already exist as a frequency pattern of energy. If you could create a new electromagnetic field by changing your state of being, which matches that potential in the quantum field of information, is it possible that your body would be drawn to that event or that event would find you? And so on page 21, there is a diagram of electromagnetic potentials in the quantum field. And it shows potentials in the quantum field with wealth and your soulmate, your electromagnetic field in the past, now, and future, health, joy, a new line of time, or the joyful event that finds you in your future. So I just want to show you guys real quick so you can see the diagram. Cordelia, what are you saying? Live? Live what? Are you do you want to read? If so, I could bring you up. I can't find spiritual awakening book here. Still looking. It is called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you guys can, okay, there we go. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Yes, it is, Chelsea. Chelsea, it is. Yes. All right, so it says for the figure, all potential experiences exist in the quantum field as a sea of infinite possibilities. When you change your electromagnetic signature by changing how you think and feel to match one that already exists in the field, your body will be drawn to that event. You will move into a new line of time, or the event will find you in your new reality. Oh, okay. I need to keep reading it. Okay, no, just commenting that I am live. All right. Well, I'm glad you're here. I am so glad you're here. Look, I forgot that I even asked that question. So don't mind me. I get sidetracked. Okay. All right. So, to experience change, observe a new outcome with a new mind. Quite simply, our routine, known thoughts, and feelings perpetuate the same state of being, which creates the same behaviors and creates the same reality. So, if we want to change some aspect of our reality, we have to think, feel, and act in new ways. We have to be different in terms of our responses to our experiences. We have to become someone else. We have to create a new state of mind. We need to observe a new outcome with that new mind. From a quantum standpoint, we have to create a different state of being as an observer and generate a new electromagnetic signature. When we do, we will match a potential reality in the field that exists only as an electromagnetic potential. Once that match exists between who we are being, what we are broadcasting, and the electromagnetic potential in the field, we will be pulled toward that potential reality, or it will find us. I know that is frustrating when life seems to produce an endless succession of minor variations on the same negative outcomes. But as long as you stay the same person, as long as your electromagnetic signature remains the same, you can't expect a new outcome. To change your life is to change your energy, to make an elemental change in your mind and emotions. If you want a new outcome, you will have to break the habit of being yourself and reinvent a new self. Change requires coherence. Align your thoughts and feelings. What do your state of being and laser have in common? I'll make this connection to illustrate another thing you need to know if you want to change your life. A laser is an example of a very coherent signal. When physicists talk about a coherent signal, they are referring to a signal made up of waves that are in phase, their trows, their low points, and crests, their high points, are parallel. When those waves are coherent, they are much more powerful. So on page 23, it shows a diagram of wave patterns, the coherent waves and the incoherent waves. When waves are in phase and rhythmic, they are more powerful than when they are out of phase. So let me show you guys the diagram for those of you who don't have it. Okay. Waves in a signal are either aligned or unaligned, coherent or incoherent. The same goes for your thoughts and feelings. How many times have you tried to create something, thinking in your mind that the end result was possible, but feeling in your heart that it wasn't? What was the result of that incoherent, out of phase signal that you were sending? Why is it that nothing manifested? As you just saw with the heart math study, quantum creating only works when your thoughts and feelings are aligned. Just as the waves in a signal are much more powerful when they are coherent, the same is true of you when your thoughts and your feelings are aligned. When you hold clear, focused thoughts about your purpose, accompanied by your passionate emotional engagement, you broadcast a stronger electromagnetic signal that pulls you toward a potential reality that matches what you want. I've got to read this. That sounds awesome. It is very awesome so far. We haven't got very far because still waiting for many people to get the book and catch up, but is definitely a good read. I frequently talk to my workshop audiences about my grandmother, a woman I adored. She was old school Italian, as steeped in Catholic guilt as she was in the tradition of making tomato gravy to spoon on pasta. She prayed constantly for things and deliberately thought about a new life. But the guilt that had been instilled in her throughout her upbringing confused the signal she was sending. She only manifested more reasons to feel guilty. If your intentions and desires haven't produced consistent results, you've probably been sending an incoherent, mixed message into the field. You may want wealth, you may think wealthy thoughts, but if you feel poor, you aren't going to attract financial abundance to yourself. Why not? Because thoughts are the language of the brain and feelings are the language of the body. You're thinking one way and feeling another way. And when the mind is in opposition to the body, or vice versa, the field won't respond in any consistent way. Instead, when mind and body are working together, when our thoughts and feelings are aligned, we are in a new state of being. Then we are sending a coherent signal on the airwaves of the invisible. Yes, let me I meant to put it in the uh in in the scrolling part, but I completely forgot to do that. And if I'm correct, I think I was supposed to start this live at 7:30 tonight at and not at 7, but I forgot and I'm used to doing things as on like repetition, so I kind of got used to 7. So if anyone wanted me to do this live at 7:30, I do apologize. I'm so sorry. Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Okay, can I pin this? All right, and if you all can let me know if you can see the comment, I just pinned it and I will also pop it up here. Okay, there we go. All right, so I just wanted to say real quick about what we just read. The little portion that we just read is that I see it everywhere. If your thoughts are not aligned with how you feel about something, then what you're manifesting is not going to happen. And I feel like that is maybe one of the hardest parts of manifestation for a lot of people. You have to literally really want it, not just in thought, but in mind, body, spirit, all of that. You're welcome, you know, um, and that's why I think a lot of people, and this is strictly opinion, but um, I feel like a lot of people believe that manifestation does not work. because the things that they are manifesting, they don't believe 100%. And so when you don't believe 100%, when you only think it and you don't really feel it and you don't feel that way, then your manifestation, it doesn't happen. And then you have people who say, oh, manifestation doesn't work. Oh, you just need to pray and wait on, Jesus or whatever. But if you feel it, if you're putting the work forward, if you are um, thinking it in your mind, then manifestation is very real. The theme for my today: alignment, congruence, and singular focus. Fear is confusion. Okay, I like that. Definitely. Definitely. And I mean, hey, it's all in alignment, right? You came onto the slide. Your theme for today is the same thing that we're talking about in the book, you know? Yes, you definitely have to live it. You definitely have to live it. Even even I do, and the things that when I notice that something isn't manifesting for me, that's what I work on. I'm like, okay, what is stopping me from manifesting the thing that I want the most? And like even now, there are things that I'm like, okay, what has this stuck? Why haven't I been able to manifest this or whatever? And anytime if I'm scared about something, but it's like I want it and I'm saying, okay, like this is what I want to manifest, it's because I'm scared that manifestation isn't gonna come into into fruition because of me not fully believing in it. So it's something that has to be worked on. You have to work on the things that you want to manifest. And then sometimes it might just be something that you are not really truly ready for. So, all right, let's get back into the book. Why quantum outcomes should come as a surprise. It definitely takes discipline and focus. Definitely. I agree with that. All right, now let's fill in another piece of the puzzle. To change our reality, those outcomes that we attract to ourselves have to surprise, even astonish us in the way in which they come about. We should never be able to predict how our new creations will manifest. They must catch us off guard. They have to wake us up from the dream of the routine reality that we've grown accustomed to. These manifestations should leave us with no doubt that our consciousness made contact with the quantum field of intelligence. So we are inspired to do this again. That is the joy of the creative process. Why should you want a quantum surprise? If you can predict an event, it is nothing new, it's routine, automatic, and you have experienced it many times before. If you can predict it, you produce the same familiar outcome. In fact, if you're trying to control how an outcome will occur, you just went Newton Newtonian. Newtonian classical physics was about trying to anticipate and predict events. It was all about cause and effect. What does going Newtonian mean when applied to your ability to create? It's when the external environment is controlling your internal environment, thinking and feeling. That's cause and effect. Instead, change your internal environment, the way you think and feel, and then see how the external environment is altered by your efforts. Strive to create an unknown, new future experience. Then, when an unforeseen event occurs in your favor, you will be pleasantly surprised. You just became a quantum creator. You just went from cause and effect to causing an effect. Hold a clear intention of what you want, but leave the how details to the unpredictable quantum field. Let it orchestrate an event in your life in a way that is just right for you. If you're going to expect anything, expect the unexpected. Surrender, trust, and let go of how a desired event will unfold. This is the biggest hurdle for most to overcome because we human beings always want to control a future reality, unknown, by trying to recreate how it occurred in the past reality, known. Quantum creating, giving thanks before receiving an outcome. I've just talked about aligning our thoughts and feelings to produce the result we want. Yet in the process, letting go of the details surrounding how that event will come about, that's a leap of faith. And it is necessary if we are to exchange a life of humdrum, predictable outcomes for a joyful life of new experiences and quantum surprises. But we'll need to make yet another leap of faith to bring what we want into reality. Under what circumstances are you typically grateful? You may answer, I'm grateful for my family, the nice home I have, my friends, and my job. What those things have in common is that they're already in your life. Generally, we are grateful for something that already happened or is already present in our lives. You and I have been conditioned into believing that we need a reason for joy, a motivation to feel gratitude, grounds to be in a state of love. That's relying on the external reality to make us feel different internally. It's Newton's model. The new model of reality challenges us as quantum creators to change something within us, in mind and body, in our thoughts and feelings before we can experience the physical evidence with our senses. Can you give thanks and feel the elevated emotions associated with the desired event before it occurs? Can you imagine that reality so completely that you begin to be in that future life now? In terms of quantum creating, can you give thanks for something that exists as a potential in the quantum field but has not yet happened in your reality? If so, you are moving from cause and effect, waiting for something outside of you to make a change inside of you, to causing an effect, changing something inside of you to produce an effect outside of you. When you are in a state of gratitude, you transmit a signal into the field that an event has already occurred. Gratitude is more than an intellectual thought process. You have to feel as though whatever you want is in your reality at this very moment. Thus, your body, which only understands feelings, must be convinced that it has the emotional quotient of the future experience happening to you now. I love that. I love that. Okay. Whew. Universal intelligence in the quantum field. I hope by now you agree on some basic underlying concepts of the quantum model that all physical reality is primarily energy existing in a vast web that is interconnected across space and time. That web, the quantum field, holds all probabilities which we can collapse into reality through our thoughts, consciousness, observation, feelings, and state of being. But is reality nothing but indifferent electromagnetic forces acting on and in response to one another? Is the animating spirit within us simply a function of biology and randomness? I've had conversations with people who hold this view. Ultimately, the discussion leads to a dialogue that goes something like this. Where does the intelligence that keeps our heart beating come from? That's a part of the autonomic nervous system. Where is that system located? The brain. The brain's limbic system is part of the autonomic nervous system. And within the brain, are there specific tissues that are responsible for keeping the heart beating? Yes. What are those tissues made up of? Cells. And what are those cells made up of? Molecules. What are those molecules made up of? Atoms. And what are those atoms made up of? Subatomic particles. And what are those subatomic particles primarily composed of? Energy. When we arrive at the conclusion that our psychological vehicle is made up of the same stuff as the rest of the universe, and these folks bump up against the notion that what animates the body is a form of energy, the same 99.99999%, nothing that constitutes the physical universe, they either shrug and walk away or come to realize that there is something to this notion that a unifying principle pervades all of the physical reality. Good afternoon, Tiffany. So, Tiffany, I apologize. Okay. Because I realized after maybe 20 minutes, after 20 minutes that I started, okay? So not long ago, I just remembered that you wanted me to start this live at 7:30, okay? So I do apologize. It's my bad. Um I got home, I was frustrated. I said, I am going to do this live and I'm going to eat and I'm going to bed. Okay? So I am going to put a reminder in my phone after we get off of here to go ahead and pop up the notification for 7:30 p.m. next Monday. Okay. Ah, I love it. I was listening to the book That Get Up You Since 7. So I was with you in JFS Connecting Hearts. Okay. Okay. I love it. All right, let's see. We are on page 28. Just got on page 28. So let's see. Isn't it ironic then that we keep all of our attention on the 0.00001% of reality that is physical? Are we missing something? One second. What is the problem? What is the problem? I'm sorry, y'all. I couldn't figure out just now if one of my kids was uh, needing to go to the hospital or not. It was so. I'm sorry. I was so distracted at that moment. Yeah. Mm, these kids, I tell you. She playing a game that is, I guess, scaring her. I don't know. I can't. Me too, because I was like, what is happening? Like I could not figure out what was going on. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. If this nothing consists of energy waves that carry information, and this force organizes our physical always, always. If this nothing consists of energy waves that carry information, and this force organizes our physical structures and their functioning, then it certainly makes sense to refer to the quantum field as an invisible intelligence. And since energy is at the basis of all physical reality, that intelligence I've just described to you has organized itself into matter. Think of the preceding conversation as a kind of template for how this intelligence has constructed reality. The quantum field is invisible potential energy that is able to organize itself from energy to subatomic particles to atoms to molecules and on up the line to everything. From a psychological perspective, it organizes molecules into cells, into tissues, into organs, into systems, and finally into the body as a whole. Put another way, this potential energy lowers itself as a frequency of wave patterns until it appears as solid. It is this universal intelligence that gives life to that field and everything in it, including you and me. This power is the same universal mind that animates every aspect of the material universe. This intelligence keeps our hearts beating and our stomachs digesting food and oversees an incalculable number of chemical reactions per second that take place in every cell. Moreover, the same consciousness prompts trees to grow fruit and causes distant galaxies to form and collapse. Because it exists in all places and times and exerts its power within us and all around us, this intelligence is both personal and universal. As an extension of this intelligence, we can emulate it. Understand that this universal intelligence possesses the same awareness that makes us individuals, consciousness or mindfulness. Even though this power is universal and objective, it does possess a consciousness, an awareness of self, and its own ability to move and act within the material universe. It is also completely mindful on all levels, not just of itself, but of you and me. Because this consciousness notices everything, it observes and pays attention to us. It is aware of our thoughts, our dreams, our behaviors, and our desires. It observes everything into physical form. How can a consciousness that has created all of life, that expends the energy and will to consistently regulate every function of our bodies to keep us alive, that has expressed such a deep and abiding interest in us, be anything but pure love? We've talked about two aspects of consciousness: the objective consciousness, intelligence of the field, and the subjective consciousness that is free willed, self aware individual. When we emulate the properties of this awareness, we are becoming creators. When we feel resonance with this loving intelligence, we become like it. This intelligence will orchestrate an event, an energetic response to match whatever the subjective mind puts out into the quantum field. When our will matches its will, when our mind matches its mind, when our love for life matches its love for life, we are enacting this universal consciousness. We become the elevated power that transcends the past, heals the present, and opens the door to the future. Organizes itself. That is wild universal intelligence that animates. Personal and universal power. Yes. Welcome, y'all. Mindful consciousness on all levels in it observed. Yes, yes. When our love for life matches its love for life, we become elevated power that transcends past, heals present, and transcends. Yes, I love it as well. Yes. I'm so glad. Look, 313. 313. I don't have my angel number book on me. I'm taking notes. I'm so glad. I'm definitely going to go through here as well and make my little notes because it's good. Does anyone want to read for a little bit and see if we can get through chapter one? If anyone wants to hop on here with me and read or turn on their audio, I'm okay with it. Like I said at the beginning, I have no problems with letting someone else read. I'm just looking to see who wants to do that. Let me know. We get back what we send out. Here's how this orchestration of events works in our lives. If we if we have experienced suffering and within our minds and bodies, we hold that suffering and express it through our thoughts and feelings. We broadcast that energetic signature into the field. The universal intelligence responds by sending it into our lives another event that will reproduce the same intellectual and emotional response. Our thoughts send the signal out, I am suffering, and our emotions, I am suffering, draw into our lives an event to match that emotional frequency. That is a good reason to suffer. In a very real sense, we are asking for proof of the existence of the universal intelligence at all times, and it sends us feedback in our external environment at all times. That is how powerful we are. Oh, okay. I understand. I understand. It's loud over here too, so I guess it's a good thing that that I don't have the audio book. But I got my door closed, but I can still hear them. So it's like the question at the heart of this book is this. Why don't we send out a signal that will produce a positive outcome for us? How can we change so that the signal we send out matches what we intend to produce in our lives? We will change when we fully commit to the belief that by choosing the thoughts signal we send out, we will produce an effect that is observable and unexpected. With this objective intelligence, we are not punished for our sins. That is, our thoughts, feelings, and actions, but by them. When we project into the field a signal based on the thoughts and feelings, such as suffering, produced by some undesirable experiences in our past, is it any wonder that the field responds in the same negative way? How many times have you uttered these words or very similar ones? I can't believe it. Why does this always happen to me? Based on your new understanding of the nature of reality, do you now see that those statements reflect your acceptance of the Newtonian Cartesian model in which you are a victim of cause and effect? Do you see that you are fully capable of causing an effect yourself? Do you see that instead of responding in the manner above, you could be asking yourself, how can I think, feel, and behave differently to produce the effect, result that I want? Hey, hey, how are you? Thanks for hopping on here. Our mission then is to willfully move into the state of consciousness that allows us to connect to universal intelligence, make direct contact with the field of possibilities, and send out a clear signal that we truly expect to change and to see the results that we want in the form of feedback produced in our lives. As for quantum feedback, when you do create purposefully, request a sign from the quantum consciousness that you have made contact with it. Dare to ask for synchronicities related to your specific desired outcomes. When you do, you are being bold enough to want to know that this consciousness is real and that it is aware of your efforts. Once you accept this, then you can create in a state of joy and inspiration. This principle asks us to lay down what we think we know, surrender to the unknown, then observe the effects in the form of feedback in our lives. And that is the best way we learn. When we get positive indications, when we see our external circumstances shift in a favorable direction, when we know whatever we did inside of us was right, naturally, we'll remember what we did so we can do it again. So, when events begin to occur in your life, you can choose to be like a scientist in a process of discovery. Why not monitor any changes to see that the universe is favorable to your efforts and prove to yourself that you are powerful? So, how can we connect with that state of consciousness? Quantum physics is nonsense. That's what the next section is called. Newtonian physics postulated that there is always a linear series of interactions that are predictable and repeatable. You know, if A plus B equals C, then C plus D plus E equals F. But in the wacky world of the quantum model of reality, everything is intercommunicating within a higher dimensional field of information that is holistically entangled beyond space and time as we know it. Phew. One reason why quantum physics is so elusive is that for years we have been accustomed to thinking based on our senses. If we measure and reaffirm reality with our senses, we are stuck in the Newtonian paradigm. Instead, the quantum model demands that our understanding of reality not be based on our senses. Quantum physics is nonsense. In the process of creating future reality via the quantum model, our senses should be the last to experience what the mind has created. The very last thing we experience is sensory feedback. Why? The quantum is a multidimensional reality that exists beyond your senses, in a realm where there is no body, no thing, no time. Thus, to move into that domain and create from that paradigm, you'll need to forget about your body for a little while. You'll also so have to temporarily shift your awareness away from your external environment, all those things that you identify with in your life, your spouse, your kids, your possessions, and your problems are all part of your identity. Through them, you identify with the outer world. And finally, you will have to lose track of linear time. That is, in the moment when you are intentionally observing a potential future experience, you will have to be so present that your mind no longer facilitates between memories of the past and expectations of a same as usual future. Isn't it ironic that to influence your reality, environment, heal your body, or change some event in your future time, you have to completely let go of your external world? No thing. You have to release your awareness of your body? Nobody. You have to lose track of time? No time. In effect, you have to become pure consciousness. Do that, and you have dominion over the environment, your body, and time. I affectionately call these the big three. And since the subatomic world of the field is made purely of consciousness, you cannot enter any other way than via pure consciousness yourself. You cannot walk through the door into the quantum field as a somebody. You must enter as a nobody. Your brain has the innate ability to harness this skill. Stay tuned for more. When you understand that you are fully equipped biologically to do all this, leave this world behind and enter a new reality beyond space and time, you will be naturally inspired to apply it in your life. Going beyond space and time. What does it mean to be beyond space and time? These are constructs that humans created to explain physical phenomena involving location and our sense of the temporal. When we talk about a glass sitting on a table, we reference it in terms of location, where it is in space, and how long it has occupied that location. As humans, we're obsessed with these two conceptions: where we are, how long we've been there, how long we will remain, where we'll go next. Even though time is not something that we can actually sense, we feel it passing in much the same way that we sense our location in space. We feel the seconds, minutes, and hours passing by, just as we feel our bodies pressed against our chairs and our feet planted on the ground. In the quantum field, the infinite possibilities for materializing reality are beyond time and space because a potential doesn't yet exist. If it doesn't exist, it doesn't have a location or occupy a position temporarily. Anything that doesn't have material existence, that hasn't had its waves of probability collapse into particle reality, exists beyond space and time. Since the quantum field is nothing but immaterial probability, it is outside of space and time. As soon as we observe one of those infinite probabilities and give it material reality, it acquires those two characteristics. Are y'all still with me? Let's make sure. Hold on. Let me get my charger. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Hey, Ash. All right, Tiff, I see your comment. Just grabbing my charger because I want to get through chapter 1. I want to be able to start next week on chapter 2. So we can start on chapter 2. So I'm ready to really dive into this book. It's so good. Oh, oh my goodness. I can't get it in the hole. Okay, there we go. Oh, child. Give me 1 second, y'all. Just plugging in my laptop so that it does not die. And can y'all let me know because I can't see my mic without having to hold it. So let me know if y'all if it like dies or something. You won't be able to hear the audio if it dies. So just let me know. Just putting this thing on the charger real quick. Okay, there we go. If y'all are just joining, we are on page 33. We are about to start the section called to enter the field, enter a similar state. So if you have the hard copy or you are following along on the audio, that is where we are starting from, page 33. And also, yeah, it was something else I was going to say. Oh, please make sure that you heart and share this live out if you're just now joining. And thank you so much for hopping on. And let me know where you're tuning in from. If you are coming here and this is the replay, let me know as well that you are watching the replay and where you are in the book. And if you are enjoying this reading session so far. All right. And next time, if anybody has the book, audio, or whatever, and would like to read, definitely, please don't hesitate to let me know because I don't mind sharing. All right, to enter the field, enter a similar state. Great. We have the power to make material a reality of our own choosing by selecting it from the quantum field. But we have to somehow access that field. We're always connected to it. But how do we get to the field to respond to us? If we're constantly emitting energy and therefore sending information to the field and receiving information from it, how do we communicate more effectively with it? In upcoming chapters, I will talk at length about how to enter the field. For now, what you need to know is that to enter the field, which exists beyond space and time, you have to enter a similar state. Do you ever have any experiences when time and space seem to disappear? Think of those moments when you're driving and your thoughts are focused on some concern you have. When that happens, you forget about your body. You are no longer aware of how you feel in space. You forgot about the environment. The external world disappears and you forget about time. You have no idea how long you are tranced out. At moments like these, you've been at the threshold of the door that allows you to enter the quantum field and gain access to working with the universal intelligence. In essence, you've already made thought more real than anything else. Later on, I will provide instruction on how to move into that state of consciousness regularly, to access the field and to communicate more directly with the universal intelligence that animates all things. Hello, Juris. Yay, entering the field. I'm excited. If only people are in the same state as me, the world would know peace. Okay. Now, when they were saying that about, you know, actually having those moments where you're tranced out, it's happened to me several times, and I never realized that. Like it happened a lot when I would be at work and I'm working or whatever. But I guess like I'm so into what I'm doing at that moment that it seemed like I don't know what happened, how long I've been doing it for, and I never thought about those moments. I always thought, well, maybe I was just tired, but I would literally space out and then be like, dang, why I feel like I was asleep. But I never knew exactly what it was. So I'm excited to know that, I'm able to access um that quantum field or that moment. But now we're gonna learn in this book how to really access it with awareness. In short, Sagittarius are in step ahead than other signs. No, I don't understand what you mean. So no, I don't get it. All right, so we are on to change your mind, change your life. As this chapter has progressed, I've led you from the notion that mind and matter are fully separable to the quantum model, which states that they are inseparable. Mind is matter, and matter is mind. So, all those times in the past when you tried to change, maybe your thinking was fundamentally limited. You likely believed that it was always circumstances outside of you that needed to change. If I didn't have so many other commitments, I could lose the excess weight and then I'd be happy. We've all stated some variation on that theme. If this, then that, cause and effect. What if you could change your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, and your way of being outside the bounds of time and space? What if you could change ahead of time and see the effects of those internal changes to your external world? You can. What has profoundly and positively changed my life and the lives of so many others is the understanding that changing one's mind and thereby having new experiences and gaining new insights is simply a matter of breaking the habit of being oneself. When you overcome your senses, when you understand that you are not bound by the chains of your past, when you live a life that is greater than your body, your environment, and time, all things are possible. The universal intelligence that animates the existence of all things will both surprise and delight you. It wants nothing more than to provide you with access to all you want. In short, when you change your mind, you change your life. And a child shall lead them. Before we move on, I'd like to share a story that illustrates just how powerful and effective being in contact with the greater intelligence can be in making change an integral part of your life. My children, now young adults, have used a meditation similar to the process I will describe to you in part 3 of this book. As a result of practicing these techniques, they've manifested some remarkable adventures. Since their childhood, we've had an agreement that they work on creating material things or events that they want to experience. However, our rule is that I don't interfere or assist with producing the outcome. They have to create intended realities on their own using their minds and interacting with the quantum field. My 20 something daughter studies art in college. It was springtime, and I asked what she wanted to manifest during an upcoming summer break. She had a laundry list. Instead of the typical college student home for the summer job, she wanted to work in Italy, learn and experience new things, visit at least 6 Italian cities, and spend 1 week in Florence. Since she had friends there, she wanted to work for the first 6 weeks of the summer, making a decent wage, then spend the rest of the break at home. I commended my daughter for her clear vision of what she wanted and reminded her that universal intelligence would orchestrate the way her dream summer would manifest. She would take care of the what, a greater consciousness would handle the how. Since my daughter is practiced in the art of thinking and feeling ahead of the actual experience, I merely reminded her to not only set an intention every day with regard to what summer would look like, what people she would see, what events would transpire, what places she would visit, but also to feel what it would be like to experience these things. I asked her to create the vision in her mind until it was so clear and real that the thought she was thinking became the experience, and her brain synapses began to wire that information as if it was a reality. If she was still being the young woman in the dorm room with a dream of going to Italy, then she was still the same person living the same reality. So while it was still March, she had to begin being that young woman who'd been in Italy for half the summer. No problem, she said. She had experiences like this before when she wanted to be in a music video and when she wanted to experience an unlimited shopping spree. Both of these transpired in perfect elegance. I then reminded my daughter, you can't get up from your mental creation of this experience as the same person you were when you sat down. You have to get up from your seat as if you just had the most amazing summer of your life. I got it, she said. She understood my reminder that each day she had to change to a new state of being. And after every mental creation, she was to go about her day living in the elevated mood of gratitude generated by having had that experience. My daughter called a few weeks later. Dad, the university is offering an art history summer course in Italy. I can get the cost of the program and all expenses down from 7,000 to 4,000. Can you help pay for that? Well, it's not that I'm an unsupportive parent, but this didn't strike me as what she had or originally stated as her target. She was trying to force and control the outcome of this possible destiny instead of allowing the quantum field to orchestrate the events in a way that was right for her. I advised her to really inhabit that Italian trip and to think, feel, speak, and dream in Italian until she got lost in the experience. A few weeks later, when she called again, her excitement was palpable. She had been in the library chatting with her art history teacher, and they eventually slipped into speaking Italian. Both spoke the language fluently. At that point, her teacher said, I just remembered. One of my colleagues needed someone to teach level one Italian to some American students who will be studying in Italy this summer. Of course, my daughter was hired. Get this, not only would she be paid to teach, all expenses covered, but she would be in 6 different cities in Italy for 6 weeks, spend the last week in Florence, and be able to be home for the second half of the summer. She manifested her dream job and every aspect of her original vision. This wasn't a case of a young woman pursuing this opportunity with the traditional dog determination to find a program, searching the internet, hounding professors, and so forth. Instead of following cause and effect, my daughter changed her state of being to the extent that she was causing an effect. She was living by the quantum law. As she electromagnetically connected to an intended destiny that existed in the quantum, her body was then drawn to the future event. The experience found her. The outcome was unpredictable. It came in a way that she in no way expected. It was synchronistic, and there was no doubt that it was the result of her internal effort. Think about that for a moment. What opportunities are out there waiting to find you? Who are you being in this moment and every other moment? Is your being that way going to attract to you all that you desire? Can you change your state of being? And once you inhabit a new mind, can you observe a new destiny? The answers are what the rest of this book is all about. Love you, fellow sign freedom with brains is essential. Hey, girl. Thanks for hopping on. Love, love. I have to go. I will finish up on the replay. Thank you for this gift. You are so welcome. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Next Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will start chapter 2, Overcoming Your Environment. But before we go, I just want to say that that last story that she told was so powerful because not only did her daughter manifest what she wanted to do for her summer, it all it all came to her where she didn't have to worry about the financial aspects. She didn't have to worry about where she was going to be. She knew where she was going to be. It all was coming to her already. And, it was something that she had her desire set on, but not only did she think it, she felt it as well. And reading that part really made me know that when I manifested my house, how many bedrooms we wanted, where we wanted it to be at, how many bathrooms we wanted. We got an extra bathroom, you know. We got what I was feeling. I kept saying, we're going to have a house in that area. It's going to be this many rooms. It's going to have this many bathrooms. And I really felt it every day. I looked at it. I felt it. I wanted it so much. And I, at the time, didn't know how much I wanted it. Like, I didn't know what manifestation truly was at that moment. But I now know that because I felt it, because I thought it, because I said we're going to have it in the future, that I was manifesting it. So just know that anything can be manifested. You're bad, you're good, all of that can be manifested. If you're not thinking clearly, basically what we just went over in the chat, if your thoughts and your feelings are not in alignment, then your manifestation will not be in alignment. The things that you want and desire will not be in alignment. So you're going to have the opposite of what you are desiring, what you're trying to manifest. So even the bad things, like if you are scared that something is going to happen, like I said, I think before, I don't know if it was on my podcast or if it was on a book reading session. I don't remember which live it was, but my husband kept having the feeling that he was going to be in an accident. He kept having this feeling, and you don't want to be in an accident, but if you continue to think that way, feel that way, then what's going to happen? So we have to make sure that even though we speak these positive things into our life, that we have to actually be feeling it. Even though we want to have wealth, we have to believe that we can have wealth. And I think that that's one of the most difficult things for a lot of people, including myself, right? Um, if I want to bring wealth into my life, I have to believe that, even during the times when I feel like, oh, I don't have enough, I have to know and believe that I have more than enough. I have everything that I need, and things are always working out. Things have worked out in my favor. So, just really changing and reprogramming the way that I think and feel about things, that is how, things will start to change in my life. It's not going to make that shift without everything being in alignment, thoughts, feelings, all of that together. So that is basically what we have just finished reading up on in chapter one, and we still have so much to go through in this book. And this is just the beginning. So next week, chapter two is called Overcoming Your Environment. It's going to start on page 39 for the physical copy. I'm not exactly sure if the audio starts that way, but I'm going to put it here, and then I'll also make a post next Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to start on chapter two, Overcoming Your Environment. Why did I spell it? And why am I spelling this wrong? Environment. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure to share this live if you haven't, heart this live, and make sure that you guys come back next Monday ready to read or play your audio. I'm losing my voice over here, okay? So I'm gonna need someone to take over for me and get some reading in. I love y'all. Have an amazing night. I'm going to go eat 7:17. I've been seeing a lot. I'm gonna go eat and get ready for tomorrow. I love y'all. Bye.